fire away.
You were in a position as a team a few years ago where you missed some games and the team went 4-1, and it kind of seemed to form the identity of the group, that season and going forward. A lot of time, other guys coming together and rising to the occasion. You're kind of in that position now with a couple of defensive players out and Brandon, and just kind of what you're facing here with the schedule coming up.
Didn't know where you were going with that.
It took me a while to get to it.
Yeah, for sure. It is an opportunity to show the depth of this team, what we're made of. Young guys, as we talk about, you're going to have to count on them late in the year, that you got to count on them now. That's the NFL. Honestly, it's how I got my job. It's how a lot of people have stepped in and gotten their job. Tyler Smith, right? That, like, when your number's called, jump in. Show that you belong here, so that you can prepare the right way. You make the most of your opportunity. I think we've got young guys to be able to do that. And whether it's holding it down or making a name for themselves, I think that we can, for one, get the identity set of this team, and one, just being fighters, one, relentless in what we do. Second, or I guess third, or whatever you want to put it in, maybe even first, just detailed and that it doesn't matter who we put in, that we're going to play hard, we're going to give you our best, super, super detailed, and we're coming to win.
Any part of you as the franchise quarterback, certainly newly minted $60 million man, to say, I got to do more, they expect more out of me to help make up for that?
I think it just goes within the plays, within the responsibility. I've got to make the most of the passing plays that are called. Obviously, help the young guys in the pocket, moving around, maybe using my feet more. I don't think it has as much to do with the franchise or the contract as it is who I am and what I'm capable of doing. And so, to me, it's about going out there and being my best and preparing my best to be able to go and do that. And contract or not, those are the expectations, standards that I have for myself. And I know this team, when I'm able to do that we get rolling on offense, and the team plays better when we've got points and we're getting points to complement them. And so for me, it's about doing what I can and preparing my best to go out there and put on my best.
And on the flip side, do you have to guard against not trying to do too much and not trying to be Superman because of trying to make up?
As I said, I think it just is within the play. I don't break the huddle and say I've got to go be Superman here, but I've been able to, break some tackles. I've been able to do some things that have helped people out. As I said, use my feet more, make the throws. And so I don't think it's anything outside of my game that I've got to try to do, rather than, as I said, just being my best. And I think if I do that, guys are detailed and they do the exact same, take the same approach in being their best, and we're able to put that out there. I'm not worried about the results and how we're going to play out.
You mentioned this is how you got your job through an injury, and it seemed like that game in Pittsburgh in 2016 was pretty big in the transition permanently from Romo to you, the first 300-yard passing game, winning another big game on the road. Do you recall the circumstances around that, the significance of it?
I remember being a night game, as you said. They're a good team, always been a good team. Credit to what they've got, that foundation over there, Coach Tomlin. But to say where it was or how meaningful that game was, I don't want to say naive to that, but that didn't matter to me. I was going out there no different than I just mentioned, just trying to play my best and be my best and preparing for that, and not worried about if I was going to have the job the next day or not. I knew if I controlled what I controlled, I'd get another opportunity and stay at it. And so I just remember it being a hell of a game. A couple of big throws. Didn't realize it was my first 300-yard passing game. But it was an exciting game. Went down to the wire. I remember Ben Roethlisberger fake spike touchdown, Antonio Brown. Some great moments just throughout that game that was definitely one to remember.
What do you miss without having Brandon?
First off, his leadership. Simple as that, his leadership. The way that he gets guys going, gets that receiver group going, leads them. And then secondly, understanding the speed and the trust and what we've built over this, especially over the last year and then in the training camp. He damn sure will be missed, but now it's time for guys, as I said, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Flo, those guys to step up as well, some of those tight ends.
With Tolbert, there's a guy you've thrown a bunch with.
Yeah.
Does it him stepping into a bigger role change anything because you've done so much with him already?
No, I don't think it does. I think it's an opportunity for him to go out there and prove himself. As I mentioned in training camp, you guys saw it. He was probably the most consistent guy there, whether it be CD holding out or Brandon's vet days. That he was a guy that was there day in and day out and really stepped into that role. That I don't think it will be much change for him. Just needs to prepare the right way and get ready to be emotionally calm and play his best.
Can you define what trust is between the quarterback and receivers?
Check out my back foot, ripping it, not thinking twice, and him playing fast and going into a catch. Simple as that, to be honest. I mean, I think a lot of times if you watch me play and as I said, you watch my feet, and when I hit that back foot, if I'm humming the ball, it's trust. I mean, honestly, a play that I look into is you think about the interception when Jalen Brooks fell, slipped down. That's trust. And I promise you, I didn't lose trust in him. I'm going to trust him again and make a throw just like that or one very similar to it. And because it's a guy that does it the right way, day in and day out, shows up. And when you slip, you slip. That shit happens. So, but that's a pure example of trust. And good or bad, I'm okay when that ball leaves my hand.
What's
Dak,
the
as you
importance
know,
of
the NFL season is about getting better month over month. What's your guys as a team the biggest takeaway from September with the hopes of using that to make October better than September was?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't clean enough. We didn't do well enough on third down offensively. That allows us to stay on the field, eat up some of the time of possession, keep our defense off the field, allow them to be fresh. I bet they would say turnovers. I bet they want more turnovers, just understanding the defense that they've been. Bunch of ball hawking guys on that side of the defense. And then just 2-2 is not acceptable for us. So it's about finding a way to win, starting this Sunday, and moving forward one game at a time. And like you said, from the good and the bad, being able to take everything from this first 4 games and put it forward in this one and so forth.
This is a guy who's used to playing a lot. How he's been able to handle the way that he's been used the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I'm sure it's frustrating. I've alluded to it, imagine, right, being in that position, having to come off. I mean, I know a guy young in my career, you couldn't get him off the field. I mean, if he would come off the field, it'd be for a play, and then he was right back in there, and that'd be maybe 5 plays out of the whole game. So damn sure frustrating, I'm sure, and I know it is. But he's a team-first guy, so he's not showing that. He's coming in, doing everything that he needs to do for this team, and just trying to make the most of his opportunities to keep himself on the field, and that's what a pro does.
Last year, your offense used play action at the highest rate of your career, and you had an awesome year. This year, it's the lowest. Why do you think that is, and how helpful is that to you?
Look at the games. We're down in a couple of them, big early. It's, you don't have much of a run threat, so when you don't have that, no reason to play action. And the run game, I would say, going on top of that, right, we wouldn't say it's probably been efficient as we want it to be. So therefore, once again, it starts with us getting the run going, us playing ahead in games more like we did last week, running better like we did in the game last week, and I think from there you'll see that open up more.
Dak, as a quarterback, do you feel like pre-snap motion is something that helps when you're trying to realize what the defense is doing and kind of get in the right play?
Yeah, I mean, 1,000%. Enjoy motion, used it a whole lot here in my career. I think it depends on what the defense is and what kind of defense are they. Do they adjust a lot with the motion? Are they leaving their nickel to the field, or are they showing a lot if they bring them to the boundary? So sometimes you can just be doing it for no reason. So for us, it's about knowing when we're doing it, while we're doing it, for not just me, but for the whole offense, creating leverage on certain plays. But yeah, when you use it for the right reasons, it's a huge benefit.
Dak, you were featured in the Evolution of the Black Quarterback documentary that was released last week, and you talked about being told by multiple people that the Dallas Cowboys would never have a black franchise quarterback. So knowing what you know now, what would you go back and tell 2016 Dak Prescott about those experiences and the journey he's about to embark on?
You're right. Keep believing in yourself. Understand that what other people say, what other people think, their perception really doesn't matter. When you've got the ball in your hand, make the most of the opportunity. Don't allow them to take you off the field, to take away your job. Continue to believe in yourself. So 2016, I think I had the right mindset, same one as I do now. And it's simply that hopefully in 2024, we we don't have to have nobody else is doubting anybody in any position in life and their job based on, not just their color, their ethnicity, but their background or anything, and just giving people the opportunity that they deserve to make the most of it, regardless.
Are you playing your best football?
Playing solid football. I think if you broke down all 4 games, there's a play or two, a couple plays within that I want back, that I could do this, I could do that. It's a little bit of, guarding against trying to do more, as you asked me earlier. But I can tell you my best is damn sure I'm on the brink of it, and I feel like I'm stepping into that. So in these first 4 games, that's why I say solid, good ball. I can play better, but I'm always going to tell you that I can go throw for 500, no incompletions. I'm going to tell you I can play better. So yeah, damn sure coming.
I know you said earlier that you were seeing it well in one game, even though the results haven't been, but you're seeing it. So you think you're confident in how you're seeing it.
1,000%. 1,000%.